Hello and welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Football Section. I'm Tom Webster and I'm once again joined by Scott, who's looking particularly smug this week. Can't think of any reason why, can
No,
you, Scott?
no, not,
No, no,
not off the top of my head. No,
not off the top of your head. All right, so
no.
right, I suppose place to start is our head-to-head, and you've taken another commanding lead of 4-2. Um, you were spoiler alert. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's no expense spared on this show. There's all stuff here. Um, you are you people's champion once again
I know.
with
I'll take that.
87 points this
Eight
week.
to seven. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
it's I'm
Big.
looking at your team and your midfield. I think is where you got most of your points. We know
Yeah,
Wood and
for sure.
Crozier.
Because you do agree.
Um, yeah, but obviously your captain pick as well, Bennett at back were pretty
Yeah,
decent
you
for
were massive. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I put Bennett captain in last minute, literally 2:59. I changed it from low, so they're a massive swing with that. I think a lot of people captain low or Cambridge defender. I think they were one of the most popular captaincy choices, and I went against it like last second. Which is quite surprising, obviously, because it's a Cheltenham defender. But considering who they were playing in Accrington, I just thought, why not? I'll have a punt on it, and it worked. So I'll take that every day at week. And yeah, I got some fortune in midfield, but I think you were big with getting captaincy rate this week, and yeah, luckily it went all right.
Well, fantastic. You did a lot better than me. I only managed 38 points. I were in uh, low 50s, I think, for this where I were in league. So yeah, bad
Yeah,
week
yeah,
for me, definitely. So we're going to look at the awards for game week 6, and Starman is Bristol Rovers Luke Thomas, 17 points. Not a bad pick at all. Pants pick is John Mellish. MK Dons -3 got sent off. Think after about 30 minutes, and then obviously they conceded a few goals, so -3 for him. My top team, I'm going Plymouth this week. 9 points. There were a few on nine, but they won 4-2 against Stockport. Obviously,
yeah,
Stockport are not a bad side in this league, and Plymouth have been really struggling. So I think that's a really good win for them. Banter team this week, I am going Wimbledon. 0 points, losing 3-0 against Bolton. Yeah, it were away from home, but you'd expect them to do a little bit more than that. Um,
yeah,
Obviously, People's Champion is you. We've already established that. Captain Phillips, 87 points there. Well done. It hurts me to say it, but well done. And the participation award is Talk of the Town or Talk Over the Town. A bit Irish, I think. Probably nod to Horan. Um,
yeah.
8 points. So that was really cool. That's even worse than me. So moving on to the league table so far, Special Brew is still at the top. He's got 530 points. You're second now on 483. You've narrowed the gap, but it's still a fairly
Big
hefty.
one.
Yeah, it's a
Mm,
fairly big one. Um, that Tastes Like Promotion is in third on 477. I can see clearly now has dropped down to fourth. He's on 467. Bonjo Swan, he were in sixth last week. He's moved up to fifth. He's had a good couple of weeks and he's on 461. And cleverly named, who was sat fourth for weeks after weeks, he's dropping down the league. He's on sixth at the moment on 457. Um, so we move on to the ultimate team, and it's a 2-3-1 formation. In goal is Kel Roos of Notts County on 11. Your defence is made up of Max Conway, Bolton on 12, Garbett, Salford on 12 points as well. Midfield is a strong three, Luke Thomas, Bristol Rovers on 17 points, Jordan Gibson, Doncaster on 16 points, Oliver Norwood, Stockport 16 points. And up top on his own is Charles Vernon of Grimsby. He's on 17. And the two teams I picked were Bolton on 9 points and Plymouth on 9 points. and a total of 136 points this week is your maximum you could have had, which isn't a lot. You're pretty close, so well done. Um, right, on to game week 7, and we're going to do it slightly differently now. Um, so flashing up on screen now should be my team. And Scott's had a look at this before, so he's now got the opportunity to completely rip it to bits. Um, so uh, I've gone for a 2-3-1
Yeah,
formation, and so starting off in goal, I've got Jakub Spalatsky of Leicester. I've probably absolutely butchered his name. I'm really
it's an
sorry.
hard one, that one.
Yeah, they play Oxford this week, so I thought he should pick up a clean sheet. They're probably not going to face that many shots though. So
Yeah.
what do you think?
Um, I think it's a good pick. It's one of the better away picks. I'd say on general, I found it easier when this is just generally for defence for goalkeeping position. Um, took a for home fixture. I feel like the away, like away fixtures for defenders are, unless there's like a very, very good fixture. I like Suomi, who we'll come on to. Um, I don't know. It feels like there's something about them that what I mean, puts me off. I mean, a lot of people had Bristol Rovers last week, or they went on it quite late against Newport, and they obviously scored two late goals. So I feel like, yeah, it's just unless it's like a really, really good fixture, you're playing against a side that don't create anything, don't score anything like a Cheltenham, for example, or an Accrington. Um, I feel like it is a tricky one. And again, I feel like the defense has to be really, really good, almost as good as like Leeds or Burnley from last season, like a super team, for example. So I think it's a good pick, but I think I prefer an home fixture in that sense. I like Suomi. I think his bonuses are good. Oldham don't score that many. I think we're in a way defender. I think one's fine, but I think multiple would scare me a bit if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Um, Barrett away to Fleetwood. Fleetwood have had quite a mixed start this season, so it's not a bad pick on surface. But again, I'd use a similar sort of logic to say that I prefer home fixtures for defenders.
Yeah, and
But I
obviously
do
I've got
like,
two away in those.
but I do like formation there. I mean, I was quite stuck. I'm almost now as well still, but 3-2-1. But I feel like we've seen a lot throughout these past weeks that 2-3-1 is getting much more viable. It routes to points, especially with shots on target points. One shot on target being 1 point. I feel like that's a fair shout. Um, Obviously, if you
Yeah.
look at midfield, Keeler Dunn, yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with EKD. I think he's going to be moved back into that.
I was just gonna say I
What were
felt
you
like
saying?
I had to put him back in my side. But what seems to
Yeah,
happen with me is I take players out my side, um, because they've had a bad week, and week after
the go and score.
they're going, yeah,
Yeah,
they put a lot of points up.
yeah,
Happened with me with DKD the other week.
yeah, yeah.
I had Koza Dubry in, I think last week, and this week I took him out, and obviously he scored
He scores
13.
final. Yeah,
Yeah, and it just seems to happen all the time. I think I had Norwood in a couple of weeks ago as well in
and then he
Middle Park.
scores. Yeah,
Did nothing, and
yeah.
then took him out, and he's banging him in for fun. So
I know.
obviously my midfield is now made up of I've got DKD, got Twiner Bristol, City.
Yeah.
I've got to say City, otherwise them fans will get annoyed at me. And Owen Bailey from Donny is my midfield, and I've got Twine as my captain as well. So I'm not sure
Yeah,
if you want to if you think that's a
yeah.
decent captain pick or not.
If you're looking at that, I think that's probably one of the best, or if not best, fixtures to target. If you look at Wednesday situation that they're in, I could go on and on about them. But I think if you look at, like the stands, there's not going to be as many people coming in, atmosphere, everything affects them a lot. I feel like they are going to be hungry to win because, they've got that underdog fighting them. But I feel like with Bristol City's attack, it should be too strong for them realistically. Um, because effectively Wednesday's side's League One, mid-table League One on paper. you'd sign. I know obviously they've got a few quality players, like Barry Bannon in midfield. As much as I don't want to say it, uh,
I mean,
but I
he's
feel
like
like
300-year-old now, though, as well.
yeah, he
He's
is. Yeah,
knocking on a
yeah,
bit.
he's like 30, 35, 36, something like that. So I'd say Twine, Mehmeti in midfield, both good picks. Twine's on uh, free kicks, as we know. He's probably best dead ball specialist in early FPL, maybe even in world. He's a very, very good free kick
Take
taker.
corners as well.
I think he could, yeah, I think he could. I
Yeah,
assume that he probably will be if he's on free kicks. You know what I mean?
yeah. So there's a
He knows what he's
possibility
doing for
of
them.
an assist,
Yeah,
assist
exactly.
there.
Yeah, he does a bit of both. And Mehmeti also is a good option if you want to go a bit more different. You think he's on penalties, and he plays the other side at 10. Um, Also, as well, Emil Reese signed from Preston, forward option for Bristol Rovers, sorry, Bristol City. He's also a good pick. I think he's scored a few already. Yeah, it's really good fixtures to target. As for Owen Bailey, away to Wigan, Wigan do concede quite a few, but I feel like we done it. I feel like we'll start to see Molineux come through a bit more now, and he's on penalties as well. And I feel like Bailey plays a bit deeper, so I feel like form that he's on at minute is not so sustainable from that position. And I feel like we'll see Molineux start to come into his form that we saw from last season. And obviously he's jumped up a league, but I'd prefer Molineux in that one. As for your
Yeah,
forward option, Cheek, fine. I mean, Cheek gets job done. He don't particularly have many shots off, but he just scores every week, really. Um, I
yeah,
will say Bromley are not as reliant on him individually, but as far as a goal scorer in League Two, there's probably not anyone better in League.
yeah. And to be
Uh,
honest with you, I felt Oldham have not been a cracking side really in League Two, so I thought they
no,
could.
no,
Um,
buckle under pressure, yeah.
yeah. Um,
Um,
so uh, my two club
Team
picks,
picks. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, team picks are Leicester and West Brom. I'd obviously gone for Leicester because an away, so an extra bonus there, and I feel Oxford are pretty poor in
yeah,
Championship, so I'm hoping that Leicester can keep a clean sheet and bag a couple of goals, if not more. I feel West Brom's had a pretty decent start to the season, and
yeah.
Derby are conceding quite a lot, so I thought
They are.
they were fairly safe picks. Although I thought last week were fairly
Yeah.
safe, and I were terrible, so you know.
No, yeah. I mean, yeah, team picks are always tough. I mean, you can think you might have best fixture, best goal scoring side, but sometimes it just don't work out really. Even for best teams. I like West Brom pick, obviously, to Derby. Derby do have a bit of jam. You know what I mean? They seem to. I'm looking at the stats and stuff. Their XG, everything is quite poor. Like they're barely getting any shots off. But they always seem to manage to scramble a goal, and I don't know how it's possible with data.
Morris,
Um,
he seems to be getting a few
oh
for him,
yeah,
to be
yeah,
honest with
he does. Yeah, and even Brewster scored against Ipswich other week, who he's probably only scored once inside a couple of years, to be honest. Um, But yeah, I feel like West Brom are solid. They've got a few decent attacking options. I'm not sure if Madge's back, but if he's back, he could be a good pick. From last season, he was good. I think he's been injured, but I don't know if he's any closer to return. Solid pick overall, though, West Brom. I But I wouldn't be surprised if Derby just get like a jammy goal or whatever. Um, Leicester, yeah, Oxford away. I mean, again, it's probably similar as to Wednesday for away fixture, it's probably one at best, if not the best you can get. I'd probably tip Oxford to be, maybe relegated or at least in that sort of area. Um, they do score a decent amount, but they've also been letting a few in. I think Cameron Brannigan for them, he's pivotal. But I think Leicester have too much quality for him. But then again, we obviously they got a point at home to Coventry, who I'd say probably one at best, if not the best sides in league. So again, it's a tough one. But I think as for away picks, it's probably one at best that you can sort of look at there.
so I suppose other one you probably target is Bristol City against
Yeah, yeah,
Wednesday.
for sure,
Yeah,
yeah. And I think Wednesday, I know this was last season, but I think it's a carry-on effect from our, moved around club and everything. Um, it's not a nice place. to go to as a fan. You know what I mean? Atmosphere is quite flat. Not many people go in. Uh, it'll almost feel like a home game for Bristol City in a sense. You know, with our with mood around club at minute and everything. Like I said, Wednesday's home form, I think what worst in league last season. They barely won any games at home. And I still believe that that'll have a carry-on effect into this season and probably get even worse, obviously, with losing so many players again and being in an even worse situation as they were from last season. So yeah, I think, like you said, another good away pick there.
Excellent. Right, so that's my team sort of pulled apart. Uh, Obviously, you said some of my picks are pretty decent, and then
Yeah.
and gave me a few pointers on where I should improve. Is there any player that you think stands out this week that you are targeting, or is there just
Yeah. There's a few. Um, I'll start with defenders. This
hmm,
one might be quite surprising, but Ryan Johnson for Wimbledon at home to Rotherham. Rotherham haven't scored a goal away from home at league um, at all, and we are Sam Nom, Keon Tete, even though he's not the greatest. Sharif, new signing that they've got in. They're going to have to put Ugal up top, I think, who is absolutely dire. They've got a few injuries to back line as well, so I could see Stevens being a decent outside shot. But and Johnson's bonuses are good. He gets loads of clearances, loads of tackles, everything in between.
yeah,
And he's got a decent goal threat on him as well. I think he recently called up to Northern Ireland international duty, so you can see his quality there. He's currently my captain, again, which might be quite surprising. But going off, um, Rotherham's consistently bad away record has carried on again for this season, and Wimbledon's quite solid home record. And again, we saw that when we played them. They're quite frustrating side to play against. You can't really get much, even though we did create quite a lot. They seem to keep quite a lot out. So yeah, he'd be standout pick in defence. As for midfield, DKD is obvious one. Um, I think, like I said earlier, he's been moved back to that nine position where we all know how good he is. And obviously Didsey been back on left side, which I think is going to be key for us. Um, he'd be my sort of go-to midfield pick. You can't really go wrong with it. I mean, he's DKD. He's probably going to get a goal. I think he scored three in two last season against Reading, if that means anything. So, you know what I mean? He knows how to score against them. I think
yeah,
they've had a quite poor start. I think they're at relegation zone.
yeah,
Another midfield pick, maybe Finn Azaz, he's gone to Southampton. There might be lesser security with his minutes. Southampton have got such good quality in attack. And I know obviously it's a big derby, Portsmouth and Southampton. But I feel like Azaz's data, shots on target, his creativity, assist potential as well. His all-round game's excellent, and I'm not surprised that Southampton paid £15 million for him. So I could see him getting a goal against Portsmouth. As for up top, I think my favourite this week's Hadji Wright for Coventry on penalties, playing against Norwich, playing in arguably the best attacking league, and against quite a poor defence. Norwich have conceded quite a few. You can't really go wrong with it. I've got an interesting differential. I'm not sure many people will like this one because it's a bit of a ballsy pick, shall we say. Paul Mullin, I believe Sadie for them, for Wigan's been sent off, which gives a guarantee of his minutes. I think he'll be on penalties, but his shot on target data and XG is through roof. I think he's got 3 expected goals in only 220 minutes. So that looks good. And Wigan look to have done like a full 180 in the tactics. I mean, they've gone from being like quite ultra defensive side, conceding none but not creating much, to creating quite a lot and conceding not that many. They haven't got the best fixture in Doncaster, who have been quite solid up to now. But I will say
mm,
that I feel Donny are overperforming slightly. And I could see that being a bit of both teams scoring quite a few, maybe like a 2-2 or a 3-2 type of game. So he's an outside bet up top as well.
Excellent. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for joining us, as ever. And if you've made it this far, please like and subscribe if you like our content. Thank you again, Scott, for uh, being a part of this.
Cheers, mate.
Right.